All right, today we're going to dive into one of the world's most profound texts, the Bhagavad Gita, to really uncover the true meaning of yoga. And as we're about to see, it's a meaning that goes way beyond what you might find in your typical yoga studio. So, when most of us hear the word yoga, what comes to mind? Probably physical poses, stretching, flexibility, right? Well, in the Bhagavad Gita, the whole concept is so much deeper. It's actually a complete philosophy for navigating the battlefield of life itself. Think of it like a guide to action, wisdom, and finding inner peace, especially when things get really tough. And the setting for all this teaching is incredibly dramatic. So picture this, a great warrior, his name is Arjuna, is literally on the brink of a huge battle. But he's just paralyzed. He's full of despair and totally confused about what he's supposed to do. And it's right there, in that moment of crisis, that his guide, Lord Krishna, starts to teach him. And here's the key idea, something really important to grasp. Arjuna's confusion isn't seen as a weakness. It's actually the starting point for real wisdom. Okay, so if the Gita's yoga isn't just about bending and stretching, what is it? Let's dig in and explore what yoga really meant in this incredible, epic context. And to really get to the heart of it, we first have to understand the literal meaning of the word yoga itself. It's pretty profound. So the word yoga actually comes from the Sanskrit root yuj, and that means to unite or to join. Now, in the Gita, this isn't about, uniting your arm with your leg in some crazy stretch. No, it's about the spiritual integration of your individual self with the universal consciousness. It's this incredible journey of bringing all the different parts of yourself into perfect harmony. And this brings us to a really crucial point. You see, unlike a lot of traditions that might suggest you need to retreat from the world to find peace, the Gita teaches yoga as a dynamic engagement with life. So liberation isn't found by running away from your problems or your duties. It's found by completely transforming your relationship to them. Okay, so how do you actually achieve this union? Well, the Gita is amazing because it doesn't just give you one rigid my way or the highway method. Instead, it offers this incredible, versatile toolkit. We're talking 4 distinct paths, and they all lead to the exact same goal. First up, we've got karma yoga. This is the path of selfless action. It's all about doing your duties, whatever they are, to the absolute best of your ability. But, and this is the key part, without getting hung up on the results. You just do the work for its own sake, and in doing that, you turn every single action into a kind of worship. Next, there's jnana yoga, which is the path of knowledge. Now, this path is really for the intellectual type, the seeker. It's about using your mind to figure out the difference between what's real and eternal, like the soul, and what's just temporary, like, the material world. The whole goal here is to gain a wisdom that just dissolves all ignorance. Then we have bhakti yoga, the path of devotion. And this one is all about love and surrender. It's seen as the most direct route to the divine. It's about channeling all of your emotions into a deep, loving connection with a higher power, basically making your heart the absolute center of your spiritual practice. And finally, we have dhyana yoga, the path of meditation. Now, this one might sound the most familiar to you. It's all about disciplining the mind. Taming that endless stream of thoughts we all have so you can achieve this amazing state of inner stillness, balance, and real profound insight. And this is what's so brilliant about the Gita's approach. It's just so versatile. It literally offers a path for every kind of person. Are you an active, doer type? Karma yoga is for you. More of an intellectual thinker? Check out jnana yoga. Driven by your heart and emotions? Bhakti yoga. Or are you more reflective and contemplative? Then dhyana yoga is your path. And the best part? These paths aren't separate boxes. They're all interconnected, and you can absolutely practice them together. So we've got these 4 amazing paths. But you might be thinking, okay, how do you actually live this stuff? How do you put this philosophy into practice from one moment to the next? Well, that brings us to what we can call the art of balanced action. The Gita gives us this one incredibly powerful and super short definition. It says, samatvam yoga ushyate. That means equanimity is called yoga. I mean, wow. That is the essence of the entire practice. It's not about achieving a perfect physical pose. It's about achieving a perfectly balanced mind. So according to the Gita, the true mark of a yogi isn't how flexible they are. It's their ability to stay steady and poised, no matter what's happening. Think about it. Whether you're celebrating a huge success or dealing with a crushing failure, your inner state just remains balanced, calm, centered. That is what yoga in action really looks like. So, we can actually break this practice down into some really clear steps. First, you act without getting attached to the results. Second, you stay steady through both the good times and the bad. Third, you ground yourself in the knowledge that your true self, your core, is eternal. And finally, you sustain all of this through the discipline of mastering your own thoughts. So, why do all this? What's the ultimate point of all this practice and discipline? Where does this whole path actually lead? Well, the answer is both simple and incredibly profound. It leads to freedom. But, and this is a big but, it's a freedom you find right here, right now, within your own life. The ultimate goal has a name. It's called moksha. And moksha simply means liberation. Now, we're not talking about a physical escape. This is a psychological and spiritual freedom. Freedom from the grip of your ego, and freedom from all the suffering that comes from things like attachment, fear, and ignorance. It's the ultimate state of self-realization. And this is maybe the most important thing to take away from all this. The freedom the Gita talks about is not about escaping the world or running from your responsibilities. It's about mastering your inner world so that you can engage with the outer world way more effectively, with poise, with purpose, and with peace. So when you boil it all down, the Gita's message is that yoga is really the art of transforming how we participate in life. It takes every single action, every thought, every feeling, from the most boring, mundane stuff to the biggest moments of your life, and elevates it all into a sacred practice of divine harmony. And that brings us right back to where we started, the battlefield. Because the Gita teaches that our own lives, our jobs, our relationships, all of our personal challenges, that's our battlefield. So that really leaves us with a big question to think about. If every single moment is a field for action, how will you practice your yoga?